Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I make my Lollipop graduation hats. It's very simple and you don't need much. You just need cardstock, some ribbon, and a scissor. There are different types of lollipops, but I will be using Tootsie Pop because I'm making them for my daughter's daycare graduation, and I don't want them eating the bubblegum one since my daughter doesn't know how to eat bubblegum yet. They are only 3 to 5 years old and dum-dums are a bit smaller. If you plan to use Tootsie Pops, you won't need to measure them yourself since I'm already doing it in this video. I just used my close tape measure to find out the circumference and it comes out to be about 4 inches. The lollipops aren't consistent in size, some are a bit bigger or smaller, but 4 inches around was a good measurement to go with. For the graduation cap, I just used black cardstock I got from Michael's. I measured the height of the lollipop candy and it came out to be 0.75, which would be the third midline before the 1 inch, also known as 3/4. I did do a couple test cuts and 1/2 inch was too small. Then I tried out the 1 inch and it was a little too big to my liking. Four inches across was definitely the right measurement around for the lollipop. Since 1 inch was too big and 1/2 was too small, I cut it down to 3/4 and it was perfect. Then I rolled it into a circle. I tried to measure to see how big I wanted to cut the top of the graduation cap. The way you see me measure, I'm not measuring the circle, but I'm imagining measuring the square for the top, so say the circle is in the middle of the square. I guesstimated about 1.5 inches. I applied tape onto the outside to dry out my cap. Then I used Elmer's school glue to apply the top of the cap with a toothpick. I added some glue to the side of the cap like so to seal it in, then took off the tape when it was dried. I tested out the lollipop and it fit perfectly. I also wanted to add the circle button and ribbon that goes on top of the hat as well. But first let's cut out the rest of the hats. My daughter's daycare has 14 kids in her class, but they told me that they were combining both the two classes for graduation, so they had about 33 kids total, so I decided to make 40 lollipops from the 65 pack. I found it was faster to just pour glue on my sticky note pad and use my toothpick to apply it onto the cardstock like so. For the circle, I just dip it into the glue, then put it onto the square cardstock. I went to pick up my daughter from daycare, then made dinner, so it's a bit later and the caps are all dried now. I could have just used my Cricut to cut out the small circle, but I decided to just use the scrap papers from cutting out the hats and draw some circles and cut it out by hand. Also because I didn't want to take out my Cricut. It's the next day and I did a ribbon test on one of the caps last night. The ribbon definitely wasn't going anywhere and I like the holographic ribbon look. I wanted the graduation cap to stay in place and not fall off the lollipop, especially when putting them on a bag later, so I added a drop of glue on the wrapper and put the cap on top so it would stay on top until the wrapper came off. For the ribbon, I just curled and guesstimated a cut. I don't have an exact measurement for the ribbons. Then I added glue to both sides of the ribbon. I applied the hand cut circle on top of the shiny side, then put it onto the cap like so. You don't have to apply glue onto the wrapper, but it does help it stay in place. The wrapper protects the lollipop, so a little bit of glue won't hurt. It's better than using hot glue. After making all these couple days before, I totally forgot to bring all these lollipops to her graduation to hand out the day of, because I prepped and made 120 egg rolls by hand, and it was also a short day since they were doing potluck and they requested I make egg rolls. So I totally forgot to bring them. Now I'm giving them to my mom to give to her students at her schools. She requested I make the rest of the lollipop from the 65 pack for her, and she would pay me $20. I was disappointed I forgot to bring them, but I guess since my mom can bring them to her students, then it's still a win. Some kids are getting it for their graduation. I only paid $10 for the lollipop, cut paper, and add glue and ribbon, and that's how I made my graduation lollipops that anyone could make too. I hope it inspires you to make one too. Happy graduation! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you're planning to do for your graduate. Thank you and I hope to see you in the next one.